Hey there, guys. Welcome to Tuesday. So today we're going to talk about something new. You've been doing exponents and you've been doing really good. We're going to bring that back in here in probably next Monday, most likely. But first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about regular equations. Then we're going to talk about equations with exponents. You got it. Okay, so our one-step equations. We always solve by doing the opposite of what it's written as. So the opposite of addition, subtraction. Opposite of subtraction is addition. Opposite of multiplication is division, so the opposite of division is multiplication. So for example, if we have x plus 4 equals 9, there's addition. So to reverse that and solve for x, we're going to do subtraction. So we subtract 4 to get this x by itself. Those cancel. X equals 9 minus 4 is 5. I know, I'm a dork. Okay, so don't forget all the notes. They're right below. I already made them for you, so you don't have to worry about anything. Let's try another one. What if I have x minus 7 equals 3? On this one, because we're doing subtraction, we're going to reverse it by doing addition to get x by itself, so we're going to add 7. We add 7 to each side. We do that, so on this side, x minus 7 plus 7 is x plus 0, so it gets x by itself. And in equations, anything we do to one side, we have to do it to the other side because of this equal sign. We have to do equal things on both sides. That goes away, and we're left with x equals 3 plus 7, which is 10. Good job. I know you guys probably know your one-step equations pretty well, but it's worth reviewing every now and then just to be sure. Okay, let's do 2 more. So if we have 3x equals 12. Anytime you see a number just written right next to a variable, that's multiplication. So the opposite of multiplication is division. So we're going to divide each side by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 1x is x, so we're done on that side. 12 divided by 3 is 4. Isn't it fun? I could do one-step equations all day. Okay, now the last one is if you have division, and I'm going to show you 2 different ways that it can be written. So the first way would be like if you have something like x over 5 equals 2. Anything like that is always division. So to reverse division, we multiply. Those 2 cancel each other out. So we have to multiply by 5 over here also. 2 times 5 is 10. So x equals 10. Now another way that division can look, aside from, of course, like x divided by 2. We all know that. Another way that it can look is like this. So say we have 1/3 x equals 9. Whenever you have a fraction in front, that's division. We're going to multiply by it. So because we're going to remember that whole thing we did like last week and the week before about multiplicative inverse, we're going to multiply by the multiplicative inverse to solve for our answer. So the inverse of 1/3 is 3 over 1, or just 3. We multiply by 3 on this side, we have to multiply by 3 on this side. So x will equal 9 times 3, which is 27. And you're done. Now, sometimes you might see one that looks like this. 2/3 x equals, okay? I just made that up on the fly. I'll add it into the notes here in just a minute. I'll even write it down so I don't forget. 2/3 x equals 6. Okay, so we're still going to do the same thing. We're going to multiply by the multiplicative inverse. So the multiplicative inverse of 2 over 3, remember we take the numerator and denominator and we flip them, is going to be 3 over 2. Now, remember, anytime something's in the top and the bottom of the fraction bar, we can cancel it out. So on this one here, those 2's cancel, those 3's cancel. All we're left with on this side is x, okay? So whatever we do over here, we have to do over here. So we're going to do 6 times 3 over 2. And you're probably like, Andrea, I don't know how to multiply by 3 over 2. Calm down. It's good. Number 1, use a calculator. It's not that bad. Number 2, I'm going to walk you through the steps to do this. What you can do is do 6 times 3 first. Okay, 6 times 3 is 18. So you have 18 over 2. That's the same as 18 divided by 2. 18 divided by 2 is 9. And you're done. You could also put it in a calculator. So you could do 3 divided by 2. You'll get 1.5. If you do 1.5 times 6, you're going to get 9. There's a lot of blah, blah, blah. A lot of ways to go about this. They'll all bring you to the same answer. Okay? All right. Now let's talk about some two-step equations. So two-step equations, 95% of the time, you will always do any addition and subtraction first, then you do your multiplication and division. That other 5% of the time, I'll show you an exact example of exactly how it'll look like so you'll understand the difference. All right, so let's do the first example. I have 3 more to go. I'll go through them as fast as I can, okay? I know it gets exhausting to listen to me. I get it. Anyway, 2x plus 5 equals 21. Okay? First thing we're going to do is reverse any addition and subtraction. So you'll see here we have 5 added in. The opposite of adding 5 is subtracting 5. Anything we do to this side, we do to this side. We have to subtract 5 over here. Those two cancel. On this side, we bring that 2x down, that's what we're left with, equals 21 minus 5, 16. Now we're back to a one-step equation. It's multiplication. The opposite of that is division. So if we divide each side by 2, we will get x equals 16 divided by 2 is 8. Okay? What do you think about that one? Too scary? I hope not. But if you have questions, just let me know. I can help you through it. Because usually I can go through an example and you guys are like, whoa, why'd you do that? What happened? What is this magic? This is way too much craziness for me to handle, and I can help you right then and there. But with me having to do this through the computer, it's kind of hard to do. So just let me know how I can help you, okay? Let's do another example. Let's say I have x over 5 plus 7 equals negative 3. Okay? So, first thing we do, deal with any addition and subtraction. So because we're adding 7 here, we want to subtract it. We do it over here, we have to do it over here. Bring this down, so we got x over 5 equals, now negative 3 minus 7. So you already have a small number that's going to get more small, okay? Negative 3 minus 7 is going to be negative 10. You know I'm pro calculator, so if you need a calculator to help you with that part, that is perfectly okay. We all have calculators, well, not all of us. Almost the whole population has calculators in our pocket, purse, or hand almost all the time. And if it's not, it's probably real close to you. Now we have a division problem. So we're going to multiply each side by that 5. So x here would equal negative 10 times 5 is negative 50. Remember, a negative times a positive is still a negative number. All right. I hope you guys are understanding this all right. But if not, just holler at me. It's all good. All right, last one. This is the one that I told you. If it ever looks like this, you have to do your steps in reverse. So instead of doing addition and subtraction, then multiplication, division, we have to do it opposite. I know it's wild. It'll be okay. It will look like this, though. It'll be something like this. X plus 5 over 2 equals 20. Whenever you have a denominator like this that goes over the whole thing on the top instead of just the x, that is when we have to do multiplication first. So we're dividing everything on here by 2. So our first thing we have to do is multiply by 2 to get rid of that. Someone's blowing off fireworks outside. So if we multiply by 2, those cancel. And we're just left with this x plus 5 up here. So just left with x plus 5 equals 20 times 2 is 40. Now we're at a one-step equation. We can get rid of this 5 by subtracting it. And you're right, we subtract it from both sides. So here we would get x equals 35. All right. That's all I have for you today. Don't forget all the notes, every single problem I've just went over is all right below this video. And if you have questions, you can let me know. Send me a text, send me an email, send me a Blackbaud message, and we will figure out a time and how to go about getting you through it. All right? Good luck.